Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today, courtesy of Sean D, we're going to be taking another look at the Ad Nauseam Depths list from a couple of weeks ago. So, I got a donation to play that deck shortly after Bryant Cook, my podcast co-host, got a donation to do it, and then Sean D made a couple of changes to the iterations from there, taking sort of advice from both of us, and this is the list that we're going to end up playing. So in case you didn't see this video, essentially the entirety of our deck can be drawn via an ad nauseam because our total CMC for our deck is below 20. And if we do that, we can cast a lightning storm, discard a whole bunch of land cards, and then treat this as a way to burn out our opponent. But that's not actually the main way that we are going to win most of the time. Most of the time, we are going to assemble Vampire Hexmage and Dark Depths to create a 20/20 creature and kill our opponent in a single shot. And we have Wishclaw Talismans as well as Profane Tutors to kind of find these various combo pieces. So these tutors also just serve as a way to find ad nauseam for when we need that one card kill. And we also just do have Urza's Saga to kind of serve as another generic beater for the deck. Now, this Urza's Saga is also kind of important because it allows us to just go and find a Pithing Needle. And Pithing Needle on Wasteland is one of the easiest ways to protect our Dark Depths combo and make sure that that actually happens. The version that I played last time around has Cunning Wishes in the main deck. This one has them in the sideboard. So in a matchup where there is a particularly important card, like Not of This World or Chain of Vapor or Hurkyl's Recall, that we just really need to have access to, we can board in the Cunning Wishes in the place of some of the other tutors, and then we will have another degree of flexibility. The thing that I ended up liking about this deck list last time around is that it's a very good deck to play patient with because you're always threatening this combo kill. And as the turn counter ticks up, you just get to make Urza's Saga tokens. Your opponent has to spend resources dealing with them. And then, oops, here's a combo attempt. So I felt like almost in a controlling role, or maybe a manipulating role is a better way to put it when I was playing this deck last time. And I really enjoyed it. I think I put up something like a 4-1 finish with it. It was a good league. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump directly into the gameplay here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm looking to do a giveaway when I hit 15K followers here on the old YouTube. And if you're really enjoying the content, consider doing something to support me financially, like throwing me a donation deck list, subscribing on Patreon, or becoming a YouTube member. Let's battle. Okay, weird opening hand here. So I have double Dark Depths, which is not great. I have a Peat Bog. Now I can play Peat Bog, suspend Profane Tutor, have one depletion counter left on this, have Profane Tutor come off, get Thespian Stage, use the remaining Peat Bog counter to activate Thespian Stage, do Dark Depths. However, if I were to get Wastelanded, or if Profane Tutor was to get countered, deck would essentially do nothing. How is a turn 3 Marit Lage that does literally nothing else and loses literally all of my lands in process? That feels too risky to me. I'm going to mulligan for something a little safer. This is not it. I like this the best of the hands that I have seen thus far. A Pact of Negation is going. And then it's kind of a question of how do I feel about some of this other stuff. I can turn 1 Chalice if I pitch Vampire Hexmage. That's probably my line. Alright. Mox Diamond. Discard an Underground Sea. Play an Urza's Saga. And attempt a Chalice of the Void on 1. And this is going to be a hand where, again, we're still hoping not to get Wastelanded since we did end up mulliganing to 5. But it's pretty strong in most worlds where my opponent doesn't have an immediate Wasteland. Okay. So this is going to make my constructs just a wee bit larger. and give me a real shot at taking over this game. I'm hoping to figure out what deck my opponent is playing in game 1. Relatively important information for me. Okay, so we are probably playing against Ant. And the reason I know this is Ant cares about the number of cards in Graveyard for cards like Cabal Ritual, and it also cares about being Hellbent for Infernal Tutor. So I kind of have two choices here. I can name Pithing Needle and put it on Wishclaw Talisman. If my opponent is playing that, that's a little awkward since I myself am playing Wishclaw Talisman. Or I can just get Shadow Spear and lifelink these suckers up to make it harder to get a Storm kill that beats me. Opponent goes to 14 this turn, or sorry, it's going to be 6. My opponent goes to 13 this turn, and then any artifact kills my opponent next turn. Yeah, I probably just care about surviving the turn cycle then. Go ahead and name Wishclaw Talisman here. With a Pact of Negation, well, actually, the Path of Negation isn't actually doing me a lot of good. I'm not to enough mana to actually pay for that. My opponent can no longer fetch. Okay, cool. We stole a game 1 win there. Now I get to decide what interaction I want to bring in. If I board in Cunning Wishes, I can have many copies of Mindbreak Trap. Does sound kind of nice. So probably do that. My packs aren't really good here. It's a counterspell, but I don't know how often I'm going to be getting up to that 5 mana before one of us is dead. Just very, very uncertain about that. So I don't think I need these. I don't think I need the Shadow Spear. And if in some worlds I'm Pithing Needling Wishclaw Talisman, I probably board my own Wishclaw Talismans out, question mark, question mark. Although, like, Wishclaw Talisman versus Profane Tutor is also definitely a discussion. So that gives me the 3 Cunning Wishes for Mindbreak Trap. From there, there's some Graveyard Hate that I can board in. It's okay. It's just okay. And I can think about like an Expedition map to help find my combo, or another EE to better fight against goblins and played out artifact mana. Cunning Wishes can also find me the Ad Nauseam and the Lightning Storm that I've boarded out if we end up in a weird spot where I want to do that. I think I'm going to grab another EE. I don't want to overload on that effect, but it's a reasonable thing to do. So this is a hand that can make a turn 4 Dark Depths naturally. This Pact of Negation not going to be great. This does have a turn 3 Cunning Wish or a Mindbreak Trap. I'm not sure that this hand is better than just like a Chalice of the Void hand or equivalent. I think I'm going to go ahead and ship this one back. One Marit Lage? Just send back Profane Tutor. Mox Diamond, discard Teleria West. Actually, maybe I send back Mox Opal. Just Diamond, discard Teleria West, Lotus Petal, Hexmage Depths, bam, yeah. And then I keep Profane Tutor for if Vampire Hexmage gets taken by a discard spell on turn 1. Yeah, I like it. Turn 1 kills pretty unlikely from my opponent. Alright. Mox Diamond, or Teleria West, Lotus Petal, Black, Vampire Hexmage, Dark Depths. Your move! Pretty decent turn 1. Yeah, absolutely Brainstorm away. I have minimal interaction here, but I have interaction. Like, there are absolutely worlds where my opponent can storm off and beat a Surgical Extraction here. But it's tough. Could have gotten cute with Surgicaling Brainstorm and gotten rewarded for it, but I think I'd much rather use this to try to disrupt a Cabal Ritual or Past in Flames. Okay. So, here we go. I'll do my thing. Tell me what you got. Like, Chain of Vapor is a thing that you could theoretically run. Nope! Alright. That was the hell of an opener. Alright. Round 2. Can't quite get this Vampire Hexmage into play. I think makes the rest of the hand pretty awkward. I can Mox Diamond, discard Otawara, play Thespian Stage, play Wishclaw Talisman, but activating that Wishclaw Talisman is definitely going to give my opponent the opportunity to dredge up an answer to Marit Lage. I don't think I like here. I think this hand is just a little too awkward. This one doesn't do anything. We're going to 5. This one doesn't exactly do anything right now, but hopefully it can do something in the future? Throw away a pact. So in this version of the deck list, the expedition map is in the sideboard, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna 100% double check that there's not one in the main deck. Okay, there is no longer one in the main deck. I don't want this Urborg to get wastelanded. I think I am just going to lead on Thespian Stage. It's not like I want that to get wastelanded either, but here we are. Alright, that's fine. So, I'm going to play out this Hexmage, and then we can start working towards Urza Saga. Like, my ideal sequencing for this game, assuming no interaction, is to play Urborg on 1, so that I can play Urza Saga on 2 and start activating on 3. But if this Urborg gets wastelanded, I think I just instantly lose the game on the spot, so I think that sequencing is actually no good accordingly. Alright, Hexmage has resolved. See if we can get a feel for what my opponent is playing. Not a snow-covered island, so we know there's no Icefang Coatls. But we don't have a lot of information from there. Hello! Welcome! I like that a lot. That is multiple ways to make a Marit Lage. Like, I don't even have to play around Wasteland here. Like, I can... Vampire... Like, yeah. I don't think I play out another card here. I think I just pass the turn with both of these things available. I beat a Wasteland, which I'm not expecting my opponent is playing. Okay, that's fine. So we're probably looking at something in the show and tell sneak attack ballpark after seeing Impulse. I cannot pay for a pact in any capacity right now. This is not a castable card. Uh-oh. This is sudden substitution combo, which I was not expecting. So I can't activate this ability in response. And now I control this. I can pact this and counter this, but I still die to the pact because I can't pay for either one of these. Well, shit. Unexpected. Like, obviously. Yeah. Alright. I'm still making my Marit Lage out of spite. Alright. There's my 2020 tentacle-y boy, and I will lose to this Pact of the Titan trigger. Okay. So I know what's up. I don't know how much I can do to fight against this. There's a lot of games where I need, like, Urza Saga tokens to close out the game, or I do need to play out, like, a Vampire Hexmage and pass, but that kind of plays into my opponent's plan. Yeah, I don't really know what to do here in terms of sideboarding. I guess Chalice on Zero is good. I guess Chalice on Zero is good. I don't feel like I need EE or Pithing Needle particularly a lot. I'll probably put the Expedition map in to fill slots. My opponent casts a Pact and then a Sudden Substitution. That's 2 spells. I don't know that Mindbreak Trap is stellar. And I think I'm just going to fill slots with a land so as not to increase the overall CMC of my deck too much. Turn 1 Vampire Hexmage Dark Depths combo. Okay. Yeah, I mean, here we go. Mox Diamond, discard a Saga. Mox Diamond number 2, discarding a stage. Attempt Vampire Hexmage. Yeah, that's not the best for me. I can play a Profane Tutor to work towards another Vampire Hexmage. That's okay. And let's see what my opponent can do. Ah! Sick! Never didn't have it. I just make this, like, now, or more accurately, in my opponent's upkeep, so that, like, a sudden, or maybe I do make it now, just make it so that, like, a whole sudden substitution thing is less likely to happen. I guess the creature will still just be around, right? Yeah, the creature will still just be around. Yeah, that's fine then. We'll wait. All right, we'll see if I die for making my Marit Lage. It absolutely is a thing that can occur. Need to just kind of put my opponent to the test. Like, they have it or they don't. I don't have discard to, like, poke a hole here. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, they needed the fast mana and the pact and the sudden substitution. Yep, so I am unfortunately just dead to that. GG's. My turn 1 Marit Lage and turn 2 Marit Lage here, just, like, not good enough. Damn. Okay. I think this hand's pretty good if Expedition Map is in the deck, in the main deck. Well, okay, maybe not pretty good. Acceptable. But I just don't think this is as powerful as other things that we're going to do. This deck seems to mulligan really well. I'm fine with playing a slow game here. So probably pitch one of the two tutors. Like, pitch Wishclaw Talisman, play Chalice of the Void into Profane Tutor, into eventually Ad Nauseam. I think I'm fine with playing a slower game here. Oh, elves. Elves. So Chalice of the Void will be the thing that potentially saves my butt. But opponent being on the play here is kind of bad news for me. Oh, I fucked up. I should have played Peat Bog. Specifically because I have Urborg in hand already. Like, that means that I don't have to remove a depletion counter from it. In order to play out my stuff. I think I'm just very dead already, though. Like, my opponent has an absolutely huge onboard presence, and this hand was meant to win with an Ad Nauseam. At minimum, I'm taking 4 damage next turn, plus 4 damage for a few turns after that. I need to work towards producing a Marit Lage instead. I think now. I don't think the Ad Nauseam kill is going to be viable with this much pressure on board. I'm going to get super punished for not playing out Peat Bog. It's going to be harder to activate Wishclaw and do a thing in the same turn. Do I have 2 turns to play Profane Tutor instead? Unsure. I'm going to play out the Wishclaw Talisman. I'm not sure that I have 2 turns. I think I have to, like, play this out and then hope to... I don't know what I'm hoping to top deck. Oh, man, that Peat Bog fuck-up was really bad. Noticed it, like, literally 1 second after passing the turn. Okay, that would have stopped the whole Chalice of the Void baselines anyway. This is going to be a lot of mana. Yeah. If it's just Elvish Visionary nonsense, that's not the worst. This is 6 mana plus Wirewood, bounce Visionary, untap another elf, play Visionary. Oh, they probably yeah, they fucked up and missed a mana there. I don't think it matters, but it's objectively just a mistake. So got 3 mana floating. They now have 6 total mana. They could have 7. There's 6 mana. There's a new Wirewood Symbiote, which can bounce Elvish Visionary again, untapping another elf. Yeah, that mana they missed might end up being relevant. I don't know that I'm dead this turn. I still can be, to some sort of, like, natural order scenario. Okay, just another Visionary. And the chain continues. They've got more mana. Okay. Finding a new Elvish Visionary. Yeah, so they had that 1 extra mana from earlier. They could avoid tapping those creatures here. Although, I guess due to Nettle Sentinel, you would tap them anyway, but they could have 3 floating instead of 2. Alright, a new Allosaurus Shepherd. Okay. Yeah, oh fuck. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, so that's an activation for Allosaurus Shepherd. Does that actually do anything? My opponent have a Quarian Ranger untap still? Yes, they do. So I take 6 this turn, going to 13. And I'm very much dead next turn. I have 3 mana this turn. Means 2 mana after a Wishclaw Talisman activation. I don't believe... Ooh. Fucked up. The Peatbog thing comes back to bite me. If I have Peatbog in play instead of Underground Sea, I have 4 mana instead of 3. And I can tutor, play EE, crack EE for 1, and then only take 3 damage next turn while killing my opponent's... Well, a huge portion of my opponent's board. My opponent would get to bounce 2 L's and they'd probably still win this game. But my mistake was incredibly relevant. Gotta watch out for that whole Peatbog or Borg situation in the future. Like, I still think I lose that game, but I'm still in it for a few more turns. Alright, I would like more copies of EE. Mindbreak Trap is sort of interesting, but, like, the existence of Allosaurus Shepherd kind of makes that, like, much less good than those sorts of cards used to be. I am expecting almost no interaction on my own turn from my opponent. So those can probably go. From here, I need 2 more cards to fill out the deck. I do have to watch converted mana cost for the Ad Nauseam kill. The Ad Nauseam kill I don't think is particularly good here. I think my life total is going to get pressured too much, but like it's 2 cards and I don't really have great things to board in, so I think I just kind of deal with it. And I guess I'll just play an Expedition map to round out things. Like the Marit Lage combo is the portion that I'm hoping to win with here. Alright. Saga Opal, Pithing Needle on Wirewood Symbiote into turn 2 Chalice and start activating Urza's Saga. Is this the sort of game that I want to play, or am I just mulliganing to a Marit Lage hand because that's so much harder for my opponent to beat? This hand feels very beatable. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. Okay. Petal, Mox Diamond, discarding Underground Sea. Play Dark Depths, play Vampire Hexmage, go. Yes, I will keep this, and then I get to throw back one of these 2 cards. Probably the tutor, so that I can still have persistent mana if other things go wrong. I don't expect them to go wrong, but, you know, they can. Mox Diamond, card C, Petal, Opal, Hexmage, Depths, sacrifice Hexmage, make Marit Lage. We are really good at making turn 1 Marit Lages, folks. Holy moly. Yeah. I do not believe that I will make any changes to sideboarding. It feels like aggressively mulliganing to a Dark Depths hand is going to be good. Alright, Mox Diamond, discard Thespian Stage. This isn't quite as fast as last time around, but this is probably still fast enough that I keep it. On it, mulliganing to 5 cards. Alright, let's see what you got. My Engineered Explosives also is probably going to put a pretty big damper on my opponent's start. I'm going to discard a Thespian Stage here to play my Mox Diamond. Play out a stage. Like, tiny bit awkward. I think I play out the map here. Like, there's some worlds where I, like, play an EE on 1 and crack it next turn, and I destroy my own map for doing that, but after my opponent mulligan to 5, I don't necessarily want to show them my Haymaker that's coming. Okay, looks like I'm gonna get cracked for 2, and then my opponent will play something in the second main phase. That is totally fine. See what's coming afterwards. It is another Nettle Sentinel. Sure. Ooh. Cradle's spooky. This can get a Heritage Druid and get a little scary. My opponent probably doesn't know to play around an EE. Especially with me having played out an Expedition map. Yep. An Otawara. Yeah, I mean, playing EE, cracking it, taking a 2 for 3 that denies my opponent a shit ton of mana is probably a-okay. Yep, I'm good with it. EE for 1. Crack EE for 1. And then I just make a Marit Lage on my turn. My opponent might not even have Boseiju available. It's like this doesn't produce mana. Mox Opal. Play a Dark Depths. Pass the turn. Thespian Stage. Target Dark Depths. Yeah. Yeah, and that's good enough to get the concession. These matches are going fast. Okay, how fast do we go here? Turn 3? Yeah, I think I keep this. Wasteland on my Dark Depths will be pretty good. So the Peat Bog acceleration doesn't actually matter with this hand, since I have the Mox Diamond, assuming the Mox Diamond does resolve. If the Mox Diamond resolves, I'm just going to get rid of Peat Bog here. There's a fringe line where I draw exactly Vampire Hexmage next turn that makes me want to have Underground Sea in play rather than Thespian Stage. So I'm going to go ahead and take that line. And only some weird things punish us for that. Like Dark Ritual, Hymn to Turok, hitting important cards. Alright. Stage pass. Copy in Underground Sea at end of turn, assuming opponent doesn't play a sexier land. Yeah, no action from the opponent. I'll just turn this into an Underground Sea, and it does retain that ability. Ooh. This is a Vampire Hexmage. Now, we are playing against what is presumably a Swords to Plowshares deck. So, it's not like I expect this Marit Lage to kill my opponent. I'll still definitely try. Don't get me wrong here. It is worth trying. But I don't expect this to be successful. I expect to gain 20 life. Okay, yeah, here's the movement. Pick 20. Yeah. Ad Nauseam from 40. Get wrecked, nerd. Unbeatable. Alright, new Thespian stage. New Vampire Hexmage. Well, I guess first Vampire Hexmage. I don't need to play out the Lotus Petal yet. It's not doing me any good. Okay. Are we just going to see an end of turn Brainstorm here? We are. And no fetch there, so opponent likes whatever it is that they're doing. Alright, we're probably going to see a fetch into a Planeswalker. If I were to guess. Senior Jace? Green Verdict. Absolutely. I don't have anything fun to remove the counters off of in response. Transmute is sorcery speed only, right? Yep. Alright. I will transmute. Grab a Dark Depths. Play a Dark Depths. Pass the turn. It's also not crazy to like transmute for Chalice, go Lotus Petal, Underground Sea, Chalice. Fairy's fine. That's fine. Alright. Opponent will need another Swords to Plowshares. Wonder if I can get them to counter a Lotus Petal. I'll try. This Lotus Petal represents activation here. This is so cheeky. These are the little lines that get you ahead, folks. Nice. So it probably doesn't work the second time, but it would be sick if it did. All right. Also just have the Underground Sea though, so you know. And that was a Days Undoing we got, so like we definitely got a juicy card. Now with the Teferi Plus, that does mean that like I can get a Dark Depths token hit by a Prismatic Ending. But I don't know that opponent has it right now, because like they did counter a Lotus Petal, right? Like actively got rid of a Lotus Petal. Narset is fine. And we'll see if they find a removal spell. They've got the 1 white available for it. Found a Force of Will. Guess I should pop out. Opponent has 2 unknown cards in hand. See if one of them beats a Marit Lage. It doesn't. Very nice. Okay, so I think in this matchup, I want to be able to Cunning Wish for Not of This World. That feels like an important thing to me. I think I'm going to make my Ad Nauseams worse by boarding in Cunning Wish. This still does let me do that combo kill by Cunning Wishing for Lightning Storm. Like, that still works. And I can also just Cunning Wish for an Ad Nauseam as a draw spell. Gives me access to this. Don't think my EE is particularly good. My packs are a little awkward due to the presence of Teferi. But the game goes on long enough that I can probably pay for a pact in a lot of cases. So that's something to keep in mind. So like from here, I probably either cut one pact because of Teferi or cut one piece of acceleration. I like the pieces of acceleration because they allow me to stick an early chalice. What about Shadow Spear? Is Shadow Spear actually necessary? Shadow Spear is probably not necessary. I can probably just cut that. Oh, holy shit, I want Expedition Map, though. Like, Urza Saga chains are real. As is just finding my other combo piece after I've attempted a couple of times. I'm gonna go down one pact. Like, I like the packs in a lot of worlds, and I despise them in a lot of worlds. Which probably means trimming one is fine. This is a bit of an awkward hand. It kind of has at least one dead card in it. It's not particularly fast. The mana's awkward. I think I'm just going to pitch that one. Whereas I like this, and the Mox Opal probably goes back for just being the slowest card here. Peatbog's not great either, but I think I need the land drop. Like, especially if long-term I want to cast Ad Nauseam. Alright. Just casual pass the turn hand. There's a Mox Diamond, which I think I'm comfortable playing, discarding Peatbog. Yeah. Alright, do that. Playing Urza Saga is real cool unless this card eats a Prismatic Ending, in which case it's super awkward that I played this out. I think I'm not going to be in a rush here. I think I end up tripping over myself like some portion of the time if I play out my like most optimal goldfish line. Because like the scariest thing to me would be a counterspell on this into prismatic ending on this, and then I think I never recover from that. You're gonna meltdown me? Fuck. Okay, I mean that was good. Makes me very happy that I did not play out Urza Saga last turn. And we'll see if my opponent has like a planeswalker here. That makes my life hell. Oh, buddy. That's scary. So, I guess I'm working towards a random like Marit Lage kill. Let's yield to those. I can't do anything about all this mentor stuff. Okay. So they hit another land drop, but it looks like I'm only taking 3 here. Which unfortunately does probably mean that they have some reactive stuff in their hand that can mess with what I'm doing. Alright. End step, make some tokens. Token didn't immediately die. Make some tokens. Alright. Source the plowshares. Or is that just fetching for Pithing Needle? Source the plowshares. Absolutely. Yeah, it seems like I'm pretty likely to just get dumpstered by a mentor. I only have 1 artifact in play right now. I probably need to grab a Lotus Petal and hope to just go towards an Ad Nauseam kill. But this is extremely unlikely. I also just think I die to mentor beats a huge portion of the time here. Then I'm not going to be Ad Nauseaming from 20. So I'm down to 11. I don't think I can put together a lethal Ad Nauseam next turn. So this is 5 damage plus 4 for every card that my opponent plays. Yeah. So any spell is lethal here. A force of will. Okay. Not technically dead. Ad Nauseam from 2 can win, right? Right? Folks? This doesn't produce mana. I can make a Marit Lage on my way out, but I'm just dead on board. Okay. I know about Meltdown now. I don't know that there's a lot I can do. Deal with that. I can consider playing 1 more land if a bunch of my mana sources are just going to eat a Meltdown at some point in the game. But again, a lot of those fast Marit Lage starts come from the fast mana. I think I'm comfortable with 3 packs still. Double Mox Opal is awkward here, but I think I keep this hand. Like, I have a couple of distraction cards along the way. I feel like my opponent is favored with me keeping this hand, but I still don't know that this actually goes back. Like, in the worlds where I actually do stick a chalice, or I expend my opponent's counterspells by making the chalice, like, this is a reasonable set of cards. Chalice has just gotten so much worse versus these blue-white X decks because of the existence of both Teferi and Prismatic Ending, not just the close to I win lock piece that it used to be. And the same is true more generally in Legacy. Okay, so this will just be Underground Sea and pass. I don't need to show my opponent a Mox Opal yet. Although maybe I'm supposed to like play it out and give my opponent a chance to use a Prismatic Ending on it. So there is that. Alright. Let's attempt a Chalice. I assume one way or another is met with a fetch. Brainstorming? You're brainstorming. Is it resolving? It is resolving. So that's just a short-term victory, though. Oh shit, that's a long-term victory. Holy shit. Wow. That's unexpected. So this is good. This represents a very fast Marit Lage, and I can also play a Profane Tutor this turn. Absolutely. Alright, let's pop that out so I don't forget about that. Like, opponent missed their land drop, and they don't have white mana. Yeah, this is absolutely disgusting for me. Oh, and I can get some bonus mana here as well. I'll cast a Lotus Petal. Alright, it has resolved. I'll cast a Mox Opal. I am Force of Will fishing right now. Opponent is thinking hard. Let's scare him a little bit, eh? What's some mana? Okay. So, second black mana here. I will cast a Hexmage. Okay. It all just resolved. So, I expect opponent is dead here. Like, they can't both deal with the Chalice on one. Yeah. So what? We're up to 3-1 in a very fast league here. Okay. Final round. Opening hand is a little weird. I don't have the ability to actually transmute this Teleria West. I can go, like, Underground Sea into Thespian Sage into Profane Tutor, getting Dark Depths. What if I Profane Tutor on turn 1 off Lotus Petal? See, Lotus Petal, Profane Tutor. Turn 2, play Thespian Stage. Turn 3. It's fine. I have so many fast hands. Like, I've had so much success with just, like, mulliganing to something that makes a turn 1 or turn 2 Marit Lage. Turn 2 Wishclaw Talisman. Turn 3 activate. Oh. Mulligan. Fuck. Fuck. 4. Okay. This'll be fine. Keep this, pitch this, and then I pitch one of these two. I think it has to be the Chalice. That way, like, the Wishclaw Talisman can find me the Dark Depths that I need. Wow, opponent is also a classy person. I really need the bonus mana from this Peat Bog, don't I? Or I really need the third mana to play Wishclaw Talisman, activate, play Vampire Hexmage. It's really, really fucking funny to play Vampire Hexmage and strip the counters off of this land. Like, that's really fucking funny. I don't think it's the correct line, but it's very funny. I don't know. I have so many mana sources in the deck that I think doing this is just okay. Discard Peat Bog, play Underground Sea, play Hexmage. If I didn't mulligan into Oblivion, I might have made this play for the lols. Ooh, okay. Force of Will, pitching a Hull Breacher. So we are probably looking at, like, a Hull Breacher Narset Stompy deck. Yeah. So I expect, like, Days Undoing combo type stuff from the deck that my opponent is playing. Oh, fuck, Karn. Karn is horrifying. I'm gonna play out a Wishclaw Talisman. Is my Pithing Needle main deck? My Pithing Needle is main deck. If I give my opponent this Wishclaw Talisman, they just search up a Days Undoing and draw 7. I don't think that's viable here. I think I have to just hold this. Like, let my opponent lose their depletion land to play Karn. Yeah. And that means they're not getting immediate Urza Saga tokens. It's still just backbreakingly good, though. Definitely worried playing against this deck. Oh, fuck. They found the Days Undoing anyway. Erg! I'll play that out because, like, my opponent is about to, like, Days Undoing combo. So that's the thing. Okay. So my Metalcraft not on yet. Days Undoing 100% a thing that my opponent can jam here, though. Rip my artifacts. Yeah, and there is the draw 7. Now, it does give me 1 card. Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. There's a Vampire Hexmage, which I'm just going to use to kill this Karn. And then Wishclaw Talisman is active again. I don't necessarily want to use it right now, because, like, I want the other half of a combo card, but, like, we're in it again. Now, opponent might just, like, Echo again, or, you know, Echo Days Undoing, whatever. Like, that's very much a thing that can happen, but we'll see. I'm at least a little bit scary now. Okay, now Metalcraft will be on. Okay, no card under Chrome Box there. Are we seeing an Echo? Okay, yeah. There is LED Echo, which gives my opponent 7 treasures. And this time, because Hullbreacher is in play, I don't actually get to draw the card. All right, there is a Pact of Negation. That's not great. I need to draw half of my combo so that I can fetch the other half with a Wishclaw Talisman. My opponent's Urza Saga constructs will kill me in 2 turns. Like, situation is bad. Oh, I just died a Lattice pretty much immediately, right? 6 mana, Lattice. No, I'm not dead to it immediately. Alright, so here is the Karn Tutor. Okay, opponent is just going with Liquid Metal Coating. That's fine. Like, it's good. And I'll make my Construct token at end of turn. My Construct just, like, does not get to get in the red zone, though. My opponent's is just going to be better. Sure. Can't be activated. I guess I will just do this anyway. Now, there's an Ad Nauseam. Yes, I will Pithing Needle Karn. Okay. So, my opponent can sack 2 artifacts to make their token. Then they'll have 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just be bigger. I'm stopping the Karn from killing me, but their construct tokens will do that just fine. Alright, so okay, they are going to take the 2 off Ancient Tomb to make this. And then I imagine a Shadow Spear for trample. Just kind of puts my opponent over the top of what I'm doing. They got a Spell Bomb. Yeah, sure. That's very reasonable as well. I don't really know how I win the game from here, so I don't know quite why I'm playing still. Like, my opponent has 6 cards, the superior construct tokens. I can't get to this mana. I don't know. I guess I can spike part of the Dark Depths package or something. No, I don't even think that's fast enough. It's like, I'm about to just get Rishadan ported as well. Yeah, and then next turn... I guess next turn if I draw exactly Dark Depths. No, like, if there's fucking Aether Spellbound there. Alright. It's not happening. It's not happening. I shouldn't have played that Thespian stage and shown that to my opponent. So, how do I want to approach this? I like some of these cards, but it might be better to Cunning Wish for them rather than have them in the deck. How do I feel about the Lightning Storm Ad Nauseam side of the equation here? Pretty mediocre. I also don't feel great about Wishclaw Talisman. Like, especially since I know my opponent has a Spell Bomb. Like, that is just a tutorable out to a Marit Lage. So if I can look at boarding out these 5 cards, I kind of like that. That can get me the 3 Cunning Wishes for Hurkyl's Recall. I can bring the EEs into the deck to sweep artifacts. I'm probably going to Chalice on 0 in this matchup. It can get me a Boseiju in. I want an Expedition map in. So I want to cut 2 more cards here. So my opponent does have Force of Will, making Pact of Negation more interesting, but I don't know that the card's actually good. Because my artifact mana is randomly going to get shut off by Karn. So I don't know if I am often going to end up in the situations where I can pact and pay for it. And if I'm boarding out the Ad Naus kill and just making it a Cunning Wish option, doing that seems okay. Yeah, I buy this. This is an exceptional Urza Saga hand. I just play out my artifact mana, shut off my opponent's artifact mana, and Cunning Wish for like a Hurkyl's Recall on turn 1. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Alright. Mox Diamond, discarding Otawara. Mox Opal. House of the Void on 0 to shut off my opponent's artifact mana. Play Urza Saga. And have a Cunning Wish at my opponent's end step to set up something cool. Alright, opponent has an Urza Saga of their own. Would I rather just post Seiju their Urza Saga? Yeah. I think I'm okay with that. Like that can become an island, and I'll just try to play this quick Urza Saga game. Doesn't mean I don't get to play this Pithing Needle this turn, but so be it. Opponent does have that, which can represent a Hull Breacher. You do need to kind of keep that in mind. And get an Expedition map. I take a quick look at my Cunning Wish targets. That's fine. There's my token. What's my clock at? It's going to be 6 damage, bringing my opponent to 14. I have 12 damage next turn. Pithing Needle is lethal. Doing fine on that front, so I want something for if things go wrong, which is Expedition map. Yeah, it's also probably lethal next turn because my opponent probably taps their Ancient Tomb at least once. But here's to hoping my opponent doesn't randomly have something like a Dress Down. That would be pretty annoying. Not really in a position to pay for a Slaughter Pact if I were to try to go that route versus Hull Breacher. Karn is fine without the mana to support it. It does kind of shut off a lot of my stuff and make my constructs smaller. And doesn't let me play this Pithing Needle, which is a little annoying. Wonderful. There's Urza Saga. We'll play this Pithing Needle on that Karn. Got that off. And both of these at my opponent, which means Hull Breacher has to chump block. That puts my opponent to 4, which only gives them 2 Ancient Tomb activations for the rest of this game. Unless they have like main deck ensnaring bridges or something, which wouldn't really make sense. I think I'm okay. Yeah. Okay. We will have to do this for another game, though. And it's definitely scarier when my opponent is on the play. They can vomit their artifact mana before my chalices come out. I think I like how I've boarded. Alright, how do I feel about this hand? This is just a make Urza Saga tokens hand when I'm on the draw. I feel like this hand loses to a Karn pretty easily. I'm going to ship this one. Turn 1 Marit Lage. Yeah. Keep this, pitching an Underground Sea. Yeah, minus an incredibly broken start that just produces Karn on turn 1. I think I'm good. Well, okay, there's also Force of Will-like situations that can happen, I guess. Alright, there's a Mox Diamond. Spinning an Underground Sea. Opponent's on 3 cards as well. There's a Lotus Petal. There is the Vampire Hexmage. There is the Dark Depths. I have not seen any sort of Wasteland-esque card, so I think I can just pass the turn. Okay, Urza Saga is fine. Narset is fine. Sure. And that gets the concession. And that is a 4-1 league for the old Lightning Storm Depths deck. Overall thoughts on the deck list. The Vampire Hexmage side of the deck is so good that the Ad Nauseam Lightning Storm side of the deck is unnecessary. Like, I mulliganed very aggressively in this league and was very rewarded for it. All of this fast mana with Hexmage Depths and Stage was incredible. Just absolutely stellar. Wishclaw Talisman was a little awkward. I don't think that means it's bad. It was just awkward. It becomes less awkward if you have like a Chalice protecting it or something like that. Maybe more people should be playing Turbo Depths again. is like the conclusion that I am drawing from this league. Like Turbo Depths, just making a Marit Lage as fast as you can, as consistently as you can, might actually be pretty legit. Maybe the Turbo Depths doesn't look the way that it used to look. Maybe it's not like green with spirit guides and crop rotations and stuff. Like maybe it is artifact based, so you can still play Urza Saga and maps. But this deck felt really good. We did not execute an Ad Nauseam at all. This league played out extremely differently from the previous league that I played with this deck. Not in a bad way, but holy shit, did we turbo out some Marit Lages. Deck gets a thumbs up from me. I'm still not convinced that this exact iteration of it is perfect by any means. And, like, it may just be that cutting the Ad Nauseam Lightning Storm support from this deck and maybe playing Cunning Wishes in the main deck or something is better. I don't know exactly, but, like, there is absolutely something here to this deck list, and I hope you all enjoyed watching it. If you did, throw me a like on the way out. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so. There'll be lots more sweet jank like this in the not too distant future. Have a great rest of the day, folks, and if you want to try this one out or get one of your own deck lists on the channel, that information is available in the video description. Let's battle.